Hello guys, Matt Lemke here with your Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com, and today I have another flip through for you. This one is on Dungeon of the Mad Mage, set in Undermountain, which the only way in that's known to man is the yawning portal in Waterdeep. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm doing this a little different than my normal flip-throughs. So like, subscribe, share, please. Hit the ring bell, notify. But I'm going to actually ask you to comment on this, please, and thank you. Normally I do my flip-throughs from the top down because I only have one camera. But I've had some people recently say, hey, I like the style of you showing the book like this more than showing the book from the top down and not seeing me talk at all. I want to know what you guys want with it. If you guys like it this way, let me know. I think it's silly. I would when I go and I do a review, I want to see the product more. Anyway, with that said, let's move forward. So what is the Mad Mage? The Mad Mage is a mage, obviously, who's gone insane, and he lives underneath the city of Waterdeep. Now, with that said, this book is a companion to the I want to call it Dungeon Heist, and I don't think that's right. The other Waterdeep book that I don't actually own yet, the City of Waterdeep book that they came out with a couple months ago, November of 2018. I forgot what year it was. It's a companion to this, and it's basically for heroes levels 1 through 5. Now, Dungeon of the Mad Mage pretty much picks up at level 5. But real quick, more history. The Mad Mage lives beneath the city of Waterdeep. And the only way into the Mad Mage's dungeon is through the yawning portal, which is in a tavern. I don't remember which tavern, because it's been many, many, many years since I have played the Mad Mage's dungeon. I played back in the late 80s, I believe it was. And loved every minute of it with hate. It was brutal, and it's still brutal. With that said, the Mad Mage is actually a pretty big book. There's 318 pages. There's plenty of cool stuff in it. Like, one of the cool things, I'll start with the back of the book. You can actually use these secrets decks and Elder Runes decks to supplement your game. So the book in and of itself is really big. I mean, compared to a book that came out with it is the Ravnica's Guide, and it's only like 250 pages. So there's a lot more content in this book. But basically, what this book is it's 23 dungeon levels, and so here's your dungeon key. And if I remember correctly, some of the stuff that's in this book, like the maps, are all pretty much original maps. I don't believe they remade them. I don't believe they redrew them. They might have, changed the CGI and stuff. But I'm pretty sure that map is in the original module. I have not been able to find my copy to verify that. So if you know, please tell me below. I want to know, because this map looks so familiar to me. What do I want to say about this book without spoiling it? See, that is a little bit of a drawback to this book. This is not your typical sandbox book where you can just go. But every level of the dungeon, 1 through 23, can be played straight through if you want. And each level has a different story and can be played solo. So it's like watching a TV show this week, and you play this one where your players are on dungeon level 1, and then maybe next week somehow they get to dungeon level 5, and they just do that part of the story, and it's a 50-minute TV show. That's the thing. There's not a lot of connectivity from level to level, and if I remember correctly, there was not a lot of connectivity in the original Mad Mage dungeon. Or Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I don't remember even what it was titled. Maybe it was just called Waterdeep, and it came in that box set. And if that's the case, that's why I can't find it, because I know I gave that to a friend. So there's 23 levels. Now, one thing, if you're a GM, you can definitely tie all these different levels together. And if you take good notes, which if you're a GM, I'm going to encourage you to take good notes. So there's actually not a lot of good art in the book to just kind of throw up. There's like pictures at the start of every page. There's dungeons that I don't necessarily want to show because I could spoil it for you. But the NPCs that you can run into on the different levels can have consequences for your PCs over a length of time. Because one of the things that, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, one of the things that happens in here is magic doesn't work right. So your players actually, once they get all the way down to like the 22nd level, have to travel back up. With that said, there is a little drawback to this. There's not a random encounters table that I discovered, and I really don't remember there being one in the first edition of the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. With that said, though, it's not hard to create simple ones after they've gone through a level. I would let them experience the level the way it is if they're going to play all the way through. Because everything can be like, a separate story, and you can find lots of different ways to make it connect. Like your players might make an NPC mad, and then they might have to travel through, and they might be down on their luck, and they might be held in prison for a while, or whatever you want as a storyteller. Now, I love Dungeon of the Mad Mage. It has a lot of sentimental value for me. There are some drawbacks to it as a GM, but for a GM, it is a valuable tool, because anytime that you're not prepared or you just want to do a one-shot, you can grab this and run any one of these levels at the appropriate level of difficulty. And then it is a little bit harder to run as a story or as a campaign. It's not a true campaign book. It really is an adventure or a series of adventures. And the reason for that is because the Mad Mage has been insane for thousands of years, right? So why now? What makes your players, or encourages your players, to stay active and getting to the bottom and defeating the Mad Mage, other than treasure? When this was created, that's what we did. We ran through dungeons to gather treasure and get rich and do crazy things, because that was where the maturity of Dungeons and Dragons was. That doesn't mean that this book isn't difficult and doesn't offer a lot of great role-playing experiences, even though it's primarily, in concept, it's got to be close to 40 years old. Maybe older, because I didn't research when it was actually published originally. So you might have difficulty keeping your players motivated in that. I know that this is something that I will most likely use as a supplement to some of my games when I'm not ready for like a 6th level adventure or a 7th level adventure. I'll be like, okay, take this. I might not even use the original maps that are in here. I just might use the encounters and the PCs. It's a great tool for GMs. It does, if you're looking for a sandbox environment, something like Tomb of Annihilation or Princes of the Apocalypse or Rise of Dragons, Tyranny of Dragons, my bad. This is not going to be campaigny like that. This is much more free-flowing. There is not as much railroading. So if you don't like railroaded like A, B, C, D or A, B, F, D, G, this might not be the book for you. Like I said, every level is different. There's basically 23 adventure modules in here, and it doesn't have a connective story. That's the biggest drawback to it. Other than that, it is outstanding. There's a lot of content in here. It's a 320-page book, and you get to experience the Mad Mage, who did things like ruined the way magic worked in his dungeon. No teleport spells, no travel spells. It was quite mean. And they did that on purpose to be difficult way back in the day. when it was still new and players wasn't as popular a game and players weren't as good at manipulating the way the rules worked. Anyway, thanks guys. Talk to you later. Hope you have a great day. Go buy it now. Like, subscribe, share, please, and thank you. Share if you like this video. Hit that like button. And please, let me know what you think of me holding the book here like this. Hi guys. Meet the Nibbles, who's gonna go down. She just decided not to go down my back, so we'll do this for her so she's comfy. Thanks for watching my video, and I appreciate it. Please hit the like button and share it if you know somebody who might be interested. And of course, there's always Twitter and the Facebook thingy, and soon I have a newsletter coming. That'll be down there or in the link below. And my kitty cat loves that idea. So anyway, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, subscribe. Be a part of my community, our community. Let's make it grow together. See you guys at a con somewhere, or a local store, or if I'm driving through the country, maybe a game club. I don't know, you're not going to go knock down my camera. Bye guys.